Hey everyone, Michael here, and I just wanted to check in with everyone and say hello. And got a little bit of a rant going on today. Um, a lot of things noodling around, and so um, I just wanted to get some of it off my chest. And my stance about things, right, wrong, or indifferent. This is how I feel. First and foremost, I'm going to start off with the recent Orlando shootings um, at the gay club Pulse. Now, I have very mixed emotions about this. Where it where I see that it is a tragedy and that it's a very horrific event that happened causing 50 people to lose their lives. I cannot stand behind the initiative for gun control and gun right or gun reformation. I know that's a really hard thing to say and understand when something like that has happened to so many innocent people, but why should one person spoil it for everyone? That's like the whole one bad apple spoils the bunch deal. Now, people are saying that he's crazy, he's insane, he's this, he's that, blah, 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 blah. Here's my issue that I take with that. According to his holy book, it says that homosexuality is a sin and that killing or just, you know, killing people who are homosexual is worthy in God's eyes. Now, for Islamics and Muslims and things of that nature, killing infidels and sinners and whatever else is very commendable. Having done so in a predominantly Christian country is, again, it's kind of a gray area for me. I'm in no way supporting what he did, and I'm no way glorifying what he did. I'm just saying that he did what he thought he had to do and should do based on his religious holy texts and what he believed that his God, Allah or Muhammad, I can't remember which is Islamic and which is Muslim, but um, either way, he did what he thought was right based on his religion. Now, people are screaming that he was insane and that he was this, that, and the other thing, but according to some of the things that I read, he was outraged by seeing two men kissing, which is a very Middle Eastern thing to react to, and even some people here within the United States react to it negatively. Um, so, do I think that we should have gun control based on his actions? Absolutely not. Um, was it a tragedy? Yes, very much so. My heart hurts for the families who have lost their loved ones, and for the friends who have lost their loved ones, and for the people who have lost their lives. So let's not get that mixed up here. I do feel very sad and very emotional about it. I just believe that screaming for gun reformation and gun control and all this other stuff is a negative. It's a step in the wrong direction. It's negative wording, and it's using a tragedy to promote others' agendas, for lack of a better term. So, that being said, I wanted to wait until all the initial hot-headed hype happened. So moving on from there, I know that I'm going to probably get a lot of hate mail for this video saying, how could I think that way or whatever else. You're just a liberal extremist or whatever political affirmation wants gun control more than the other, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm all about our liberties. I don't think that one person or one group should have more or less based on the actions of one or two other people or even a group of other people. Now, that having been said, I am anti anyone of any religion, of any color, of any whatever coming into our country, legally or illegally, and trying to change things in such a way that it's like terraforming. So, I don't agree with anyone doing that to any country, especially coming into America and demanding that Syrian law take place or demanding that we have to do things differently because it doesn't agree with them or whatever else. You know what? Fuck you. This is our goddamn country. We made rules and laws that pertain to our particular lifestyle. We wouldn't be able to go into China or Russia or Germany or any other country and demand that that things change for us to make our lives better in a country that we're foreign to. Even for the people who come here legally and go through the whole nationalization or whatever, you are still coming into a country that does not share your same viewpoints or your political or religious agendas. When you come into a country and you become a citizen of that country, you are thereby adopting their doctrine, their way of life, their government, everything. Can you imagine what would happen if, say, 50,000 plus American immigrants went into Palestine or Pakistan or Iraq or any of those other places and then set up started living in refugee camps and then started demanding that they change their laws and their ways to fit us? Take a Jersey girl, like a Bronx ghetto Jersey girl, and throw her in the Middle East with a bunch of other people just like her, or even a black woman, or anyone of that color. It doesn't even need to be a male or female, but I'm using female in this example. Throw them in the Middle East and now tell them that they can no longer wear their street clothes, that they have to wear burqas all the time, or that they have to go out with their heads covered up in a scarf or any number of different things. Now, going with our American way of thinking of things, I can't see our American women being down with that. So if we went over there and they said, no, you can't leave, a woman has to always be accompanied by a man, or they have to be covered up with only an eye hole and whatever else. If we started screaming and yelling and throwing a temper tantrum and demanding reform of their law, how quickly do you think all of the people would be either killed or deported? That's saying if we were even allowed to get in the first place. So by accepting these Syrian refugees and other refugees into our country and then rolling over and showing our bellies and allowing them to make demands of these and trying to reform things and like carry out their religious ideals and whatever else, that's doing a disservice to the rest of the country. Now, I know America was founded on the ability to practice whatever religion you want freely. That being said, we are still very white bread in that regard. Unless you are Christian, Catholic, or, one of the acceptable religions, you have no religious freedoms here. And this is getting into a tyrant that I don't even want to attack or talk about right now, just because I don't have the headspace for it. So, going back to the original topic at hand, I am against gun control and reformation because I believe that all people, regardless of who you are, should have access to guns with a certain extent. People who have broken the law and are criminals and have had felonies and stuff like that, okay, no. But everyday law abiding citizens, yes, they should have access to guns and what have you. Because within the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or one of those, it basically says that we have the right to bear arms and to defend ourselves and our country from foreign and domestic terrorism. There, I'm paraphrasing, but basically, that's written. That was what one of the formation. That was part of the formation of our country and our governmental system. So, anyways, that part's done. My heart goes out to the people of Orlando and to the families and friends affected therein. The next topic of conversation that I wish to have is about diabetes, depression, mental health, and etc. I'm really getting tired of one constantly having to defend myself for my mental health and my physical health. I'm constantly feeling like I'm under attack and under siege because I'm depressed, bipolar, have irritable bowel syndrome, have PTSD, and all this other stuff. People seem to think that PTSD is strictly for people in the military. No, it's for anyone who has post-traumatic stress disorder. It means that something really bad happened in your life and you have PTSD from it. You got some kind of trauma. You know my name, but not all of my story. It's one of those, don't tell me how I feel or how I should feel or how I need to feel. Basically, if you don't suffer from mental health or know somebody who suffers from mental health issues, shut the fuck up. There it is, plain and simple. There's some people who think that people who say that they have mental illnesses and that suffer from depression or whatever else, that it's all bullshit, fake, and making up stories and whatever else. And then especially people who are on Social Security and Social Security disability, that we are all just a bunch of lazy fuckers who want nothing more than to sit on our ass and collect a check. Well, if you know anything about Social Security, you know that as you work, you pay into it. And if you pay into something, you should get back from that. So for all the people who've trolled my channel before and may troll my channel after this, just know that yes, I did work. Yes, I did pay into Social Security. Did I complete my 10 units or whatever the hell it is? My 10 quarterly payments, no, I wasn't able to, because a lot of time during that time period, I was living with my parents, going to school, and didn't have a job. There it is. The times that I did have a job, they were very stressful, very undertaking, and coupled with my health problems, I had a little bit of a mental breakdown. And when I came out of the hospital, and many of you who follow my channel for a long time know the story of when I went into the hospital. But for those of you who don't, I went into the hospital for DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, which means that your blood starts to turn to acid and attack your internal organs because you have uncontrolled or undiagnosed diabetes. Well, in my case, it was undiagnosed, uncontrolled, and I allowed myself to go an entire year without seeking medical treatment. Why? Because I was depressed and I was, at the time, somewhat suicidal, and I just had a lot of shit going on, and I didn't care because no one else cared. So, there's the story in a nutshell. When I got So after dealing with all of that and trying to get back into the workforce and everything else, it became absolutely too much for me. And by that time, I was severely depressed, and I I knew for years prior that I was possibly bipolar. I didn't see the depression part of it so much, but I knew that I was probably bipolar because I started exhibiting all the symptoms of it, and I started looking for help. But because I was living in California at the time and my last name didn't sound like some Mexican food item like Gonzalez Hernandez or Gutierrez or Torres or whatever, I was denied medical health care coverage. Um, so I wasn't able to really get the health care that I needed. And finally, when I was able to get onto state or county aid for medical, it was a little too late. Thankfully, now I am on Social Security and Medicare. Well, I have Medicare Medicaid, which is both state and government. State, well, however, but I have Medicare Medicaid now. So I'm pretty well taken care of, and I have access to the mental health facilities that I need. I've been utilizing my mental health and really been working on trying to get myself back into a better place and just getting things taken care of. I still have a lot of things that I need to work on. My health is one of the biggest things that I'm working on right now, and I'm about ready to go on a vacation. I'm gonna go home for a little while and go see my mom and my grandmother and other friends and family back in the California area that I grew up in and lived most of my life. So that's going to help me out tremendously because, one, I haven't been away from my house in over 4 years now. I've done little mini staycations and stuff like that, but when you're stuck in the same area and you see the same shit day in and day out, it gets really repetitive, really boring, and really predictable. So, through the grace and glory of whatever, my sister was able to come up with $140 for a round trip plane ticket to California on JetBlue. So I get to go see my mom, my grandma, and some of my other friends and family. And I'm really thankful for that because I just feel very stagnant right now, and like I need to get out of this area and get away from everything. And so I'm hoping that when I come back, I will have a renewed sense of self and a new vigor for life. And when I do come back, I'm going to get back to journaling, writing down all my food and doing my blood sugar logs and everything else like that. Um, I really need to get back into taking better care of myself and trying to lose weight. Uh, m- my weight has become a very huge factor in my overall physical health. It's starting to adversely affect my feet, which, as a diabetic, my feet are already compromised due to poor circulation and just diabetic neuropathy and all that other crap. Um, and so it's becoming very difficult to walk for long periods of time and stand for long periods of time. Um, some days are better than others. Sometimes my back just won't have it. The other day, just walking out to my mailbox, walking to my backyard to get my trash can, and coming back into the house left me in such pain that I had to sit down at my stove to cook dinner. Um, I've gone to the chiropractor many times for my back issues, and um, it still just seems to be the same. And so now it's at that point where I need to be able to exercise and walk and do whatever I gotta do without being in pain. And so when I come back home, I'm planning on starting the Atkins diet again, and I've already spoken to all of my doctors, and including my diabetes educator, about starting this diet plan again. And I told them I need 110% motivation and commitment from them as well to make sure that I keep stuff moving in a forward direction, because what happens is I start these things up and I get a really good momentum going, and then something trips me up, and then the depression, bipolar, or whatever else keeps me from finishing it out. A few years ago, about 2009, 2010, I used to do yoga, I did Tai Chi, and I was working out daily in my living room when my sister and my niece went to school and work. I have a few free weights, nothing extremely heavy or what have you. They're only 8 pounds, but still, 8 pounds after a few serious repetitions is a lot of weight. I have a Airdyne bike, and on my front porch, I have a glider bike where you pull up and it works your legs, your back, your arms, and your stomach. So I have a few items. I want to get some resistant bands, and I used to have a really nice set of that, but my retarded little cat loves to eat neoprene and plastic, like rubber bands. And so she chewed through all of them, and they were like a $40 set from Gold's Gym. So, yeah, thank you. She's over here laying on the couch looking at me like I didn't do nothing. But yeah, so I really gotta try to do something. Also, if if you don't know from my last video or two, they've put me on an insulin pump now, and with this insulin pump, even though I hate it, it is very beneficial. And I have noticed that my blood sugars are starting to become more in range, and that's been really awesome. I've got to talk to uh, one of my doctors and find out why I'm constantly urinating, even though my sugar level is right where it needs to be. It seems like since having the meter put, or the pump put on me, I just frequently urinate like all the time. So I don't know if it's an bladder evacuation. Can't say that word. I don't know if it's full evacuation or not, but there's got to be some kind of issue there. Um, it could also just be that it's my weight pushing on my bladder causing me to have to urinate. So if that's the case, then that's even more reason to have to lose weight also, just so that I don't have to start wearing Depends at 35. Uh, so yeah, actually, going back to the cat, you can see her. She's right there. Anyways, oh, and I'm wearing my geeky shirt for Star Laboratories. Okay, I know that that was completely random, um, but I'm a nerd and I love comic books and stuff like that. And you can see like my paintings and drawings and stuff on the walls back there. They're all superhero inspired: Batman, Superman, so on and so forth. Star Laboratories is from The Flash, and um, I, I saw this T-shirt on the TV show The Flash. But anyways, getting sidetracked. So yeah, so that's one of the many things that I need to change when I get back. The reason I'm not implementing that right now is because I know when I get out to California, I'm not going to follow any sort of a diet plan, and to try to impose one on my friends and family while I'm there is not fair. And so I figured, you know what? I'm going to be gone for 3 weeks. I'm going to be able to recharge my batteries, get a new thing going on for myself, and just move from there. Um, yeah. And so if you haven't noticed, the blog is back up and going. That's hellocupcakeitsme.com, all one word. And there's been a lot of really good content on there lately. I It's not content that I have wrote myself. I have a writing team that's been writing some of the content on there, uh, and that's a huge, just jumbled mess from my web host. So they offered to have this content written up for me for like, I want to say 90 days or something like that. And so, anyways, um, it's all relative content too. It's all about depression, diabetes, bipolar, how to treat yourself, how to live with diabetes, and um, so on and so forth. So it's all good relative content, and I'm gonna start posting personal stuff on there once again as soon as I get back. But anyways, I'm gonna let you go for now because I realize I've been rambling for almost 30 minutes. But um, yeah, just a lot of stuff going on in the old noodle up here, and trying to figure out what I need to do, where and how best to get those things taken care of. Um, One thing that I always tell people that I happen to be talking to or counseling at the time is, wherever you are in life, yes, it may not be your ideal situation or where you want to be, but you are doing the best that you can with what you have available to you. And so that's what I feel like right now. I am having more and more things available to me, but I'm not utilizing them the way that I need to. And so that's where I'm going to be changing, and I'm going to utilize things better. I'm going to ask for help more and try to really get things straightened out for myself and in my life. Um, I've been met with a little bit of opposition in the whole asking for help department so far. So I'm hoping that that changes for the better, because there are some things that I absolutely do need help with that I have no help So, anyways, well, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. Um, I do. I am saying this right now. If you have anything negative to say, just don't do it. You're going to be blocked and reported to YouTube. Um, go troll somebody else if you feel you need to. But yeah, questions, comments, concerns in the comments below. Shoot me an email, hellocupcakeitsme@gmail.com. Um, find me on social media, Twitter, Hello Cupcake for You, the number 4 and the letter U. Um, Instagram, you can follow me on Instagram. That's actually just my name, Michael Scott Peterson, all one word. Um, Facebook, look for Hello Cupcake It's Me, and yeah, um, I'll see y'all real soon. Talk to you later.